Hi there folks, welcome to this video. In this video I want to focus on creating walls, doors, and windows using the AEC extended part of 3D Max. The AEC extended part of this program is an architectural addition to the program. It is a standard plugin that you get whenever you get the program from the Autodesk site. The way that you get to the AEC extended part of the program is that under your Create tab and your Geometry button, you want to go to your standard primitives. You can click on this, and toward the bottom is called the AEC Extended. We'll be using what's called the doors, the windows, and the AEC Extended part today. The first part I want to focus on is creating the walls. If you click on the wall button, you have different parameters here. Before we create, I want to focus on a couple of these things here. You have your width, which is set for a 5-inch width wall, and my height is a 10-foot 0-inch wall. I changed my units and my setup to mimic the Americanized fractional inches and feet. To do that, just go to your Customize pull-down menu and hit your unit setup, and then you can change this to whatever you want. Let's press OK to do that. And before I start, I also want to have my snaps turned on. Snaps are toggled on and off by this button right here. It has a little magnet on it. When you press this button, your snaps will be turned on, and this red little target becomes your cursor there. You can also toggle your snaps on and off just by pressing the S key. That will turn them off and on. For this part of the program, I'll be using two different snaps parts here. I'll be using my snap to my grid, and this one right here is my snap to my edge segment toggle. You can also turn these on and off just by right-clicking your snaps toggle button, and that will open up the grid and snap settings. To create a wall, you just want to click wherever you want to, start, click, and then move your mouse. I want to make this wall 13 feet long, to 12 feet 6 inches. Click, and we'll move it downward to create the bottom corner of it, and create the bottom part of the wall. Then to close it, I just click on the starting point. Okay. When you hit that, it'll say, "Do you want to weld the points?" Whenever you press yes, you'll notice that all of your edges here will become miter joints as opposed to just individual kind of weird walls right there. So press yes. Your edges are then solidified. And to get off your wall, just pick your just a right click, and then just right click one more time. Let's turn off the snap part here. So I want to see what the wall created here. You see that this here, it has thickness, height, and width. And if you press your Modify tab, you can specify each part of the wall here as well. Your walls, by default, have three different parts to them. Your vertex is the bottom corner, so if you move this, you can actually move this wall out and create a different shape of the wall. Your segment is the actual segment of the wall, each side of the wall. Notice that this one here, I have one segment per side. See, I can click on that. I can move this up and down as I want to. To create more segments, you would just click your divide key. Say I want to make this one here segment to be 3 different divisions. Just put in 3 into your divisions and press divide. Now I have 5 vertices here, and then 3 different segments there, so I can change this as I want to. Let's change the wall to be more like this right there. That's a pretty interesting wall, I would say. Okay, let's get back to my top view here. Anyway, that's how you create different segments and different ways to kind of create your walls and everything. Let's go back to the wall part there. The profile, you can just work on individual sides as opposed to the entire wall segment, or as opposed to the entire wall itself. So, to create windows and doors, actually a pretty easy process here. I'm gonna go to my Create tab. I'm gonna get off my AEC Extended. I'm gonna go to my doors right here. It's an actual menu item there. And 3D Max by default gives you 3 different parts here. You can download additional plugins to have more doors or walls. These are your basic standard doors and windows. I'm sorry. You can download different doors and window plugins. Let's do a pivot door here. Let me press my S key. But I don't want my grid snaps on. I want my edge and segment snaps on. So let's actually just right click here so you can see what I'm doing. Turn this on right there. And you notice that I can actually snap to the inside and the outside of my wall. Let's turn this off to a wireframe so you can see what I'm doing more. So what I want to do is I want to click on the inside of the wall. I'm going to click and drag. That will create the inner width of the door. I'm going to let go. I'm going to click the outer edge here to create the depth of that door. And then I've moved it up. And then as I move this up, I can create the height of this door. Notice that with my snaps on, my door kind of snaps to different heights there. Press the S key to turn your snaps off, and now you can make this any kind of height that you want to. Let's click, and that becomes my door right there. Bring it back to smooth highlights there. Notice that there is already an opening in that door. Now your door and your windows have got to be created perfectly on the edges or the segments of your wall. If they're not, you're not going to have an opening here. It'll just be a door that's placed inside of a wall. If you move this door manually, it'll take you a long time just to get it perfectly. So using your snaps is probably the best thing that you can do for your doors and your walls to make sure that they work properly. Again, in your Modify tab, you have a ton of different options here. Now, the depth of your door is already defined by the depth of your wall. These doors, you have different options here for your swing. I can make a single door or a double door, and I can open the degree of that there. And you have lots of different frame options here. Right now, there's just a single frame here and a single panel of glass. Right now, it's defined as glass. For my panels, I can do none, and that then eliminates this. I could do a beveled edge right there, and you notice that this created a bevel part to my door there, almost like a typical door you would find in an apartment building or a house. Let's pick it to be beveled, and we'll leave it like that. Now, adding materials to your doors and your windows and your walls is a bit of a different process, and I'll go over that in a different video because it's a bit of a longer step than what is typically done with just your average materials and a box or a sphere. And let me move to a windows here. Windows are a different section here, and again the same way. I want to change this to my wireframe so I can see more of what I'm doing. Turn on my snaps so I can snap to the edges there. I'm going to make a sliding window here. So again, the same way that you created your doors, that you just want to click on your edge and drag to create the width of your window. Let go. I'm going to move it and I'm going to click on the other edge so I can create the depth of that window. Undo my snaps, and now I can create the height of that window there. Right click to get off my sliding door, my sliding window option there. Go to my smooth highlights again, and that right there is my window. Let's move it up so it works. Now it looks like a real window. So again, the modifier here, you can create a lot of different options here. There's a lot of different elements that you guys can work with, and there's 6 different types of windows, so you can have a lot of different options here. Again, materials are added in a different process, and I'll go over that with a different video. One important feature about this is that if you right click on any one of these, and if you convert this to a polygon, you're going to lose all of these options here. You'll also lose the ability to create custom materials for this. So you want to keep these as a custom object. They're always displayed as a sliding window or the type of object you have placed there. And that's how you create doors and windows. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any comments or questions, and I'll respond to those in a timely manner.